The term ego refers to one's experience of oneself. It forms the center of the field of consciousness and performs all the conscious actions such as willing, desiring, reflecting, acting, etc. Since no content can be conscious unless it is represented to a subject, so the ego acts as a subject to whom psychic contents are represented. That is, the ego is the subject of all personal acts of consciousness. In other words, everything that we experience consciously is experienced by the ego. For Jung, the ego forms the critical center of the consciousness and in fact determines to a large extent which contents remain within the realm of consciousness and which ones drops away into the unconscious. The ego can repress contents it does not like or finds intolerably painful or incompatible with other contents. It can also retrieve contents from storage in the unconscious as long as they are not blocked by defense mechanisms such as repression. The psyche, according to Jung, is bounded by and limited to where the ego can go. In a way, the psyche can be considered as a house and the ego is the person inside the house. It can explore the rooms and corners of the house and those explored territory falls into the conscious realm and the unexplored one remains in the unconscious psyche. Since the psyche includes the unconscious, it is at least potentially available to the ego, even if the ego does not ever actually experience much of it. The two major attitudes, introversion and extroversion, and the four functions, thinking, feeling, sensation, and intuition, have a strong influence upon the ego's orientation as it undertakes its adaptive tasks and requirements. Jung argued that the ego has an inborn genetic tendency to prefer one particular type of attitude and function combination and to rely secondarily on another complementary combination for balance, with a third and fourth remaining less used and consequently less available and developed. The combinations make up what he calls the psychological types. According to Jung, the ego is not strictly limited to the somatic base, that is, the physical body, but rather it rests on two seemingly different bases, the somatic and the psychic. The ego is based in the body only in the sense that it experiences unity with the body, but the body that the ego experiences is psychic. It is a body image and not the body itself. The body is experienced from the totality of endosomatic perceptions, that is, from what one can consciously feel of the body. The ego is therefore essentially a psychic factor. The ego is what sets humans apart from other creatures of nature who also possess consciousness. It also sets the individual human beings apart from other human beings. In other words, it is the individualizing agent in human consciousness.